Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the Together YouTube channel, which is new and exciting,
Yeah, welcome.
with Mike and Courtney. And we're really excited. Today, we're just going to do a little bit of an intro of our intention, our inspiration for this YouTube channel. And if you hang on till the end, which I highly recommend you do, we're going to share a little tool and a practice that you can bring into your relationships.
Yeah, we wanted to come on and just share what our intention is here. And so we are wanting to speak to and share about conscious relationship, both as the journey that we're on in our relationship, and then also, like, for me as a somatic therapist and an experiential mystic, I work with couples, and so the tools that I've learned, what I'm learning and relating with couples and watching their journey, and then for Mike as a coach, as an intuitive coach, and how he works with people in the realms of relationship. And then also, to bring in this piece about conscious parenthood, because we have a 14-month-old baby, so we're sort of in this journey, right, of like conscious relationship, conscious parenting. How do we walk this path, and how do we use relationship as awakening? How can we orient relationship as awakening? What are the tools, and what are we all awakening to within that? Because we're all sort of journeying it together, and this is the meaning of together. Yeah, is this way that together we're journeying this. With our little one, we're journeying this, but then we're also journeying it with so many other conscious couples and parents, and we're sort of rewriting the templates, the imprints, the story of what relationship can be, and how we can be in love together as sovereign whole selves, as our essence, dancing together. Yeah, and the last thing I want to say about that too is, how can relationship become a place of creation? So that we can orient towards creating together. And this is a way that Mike and I, our relationship wants to create.
Yeah.
So you're part of our creation.
Thank you.
Yeah. What would you say
Love
about
that.
our intention?
Well, the creation piece is such a good bridge for me. So for me, it's like being a father, being an entrepreneur, a business owner of 2 businesses. I'm a life coach. I also own a plumbing and heating company that services this valley. There's a lot of pieces and
moving pieces.
A lot of moving pieces. And what I really feel called to and inspired to is talking about and sharing the journey of conscious partnership, conscious parenthood, conscious entrepreneurship. For me, it's the journey to freedom and like how to create in the most enjoyable way. And for me, the greatest learning is in the space of together. It's one thing to be that, like, and I know this experience on a level where it's like the monk meditating alone in the mountain, like hidden in a cave, but it's like really the spiritual practices are like moving into the together space, different personality types, different journeys, emotion states. Now we got this beautiful little one who is so dependent on our needs and like so much life energy, and then how to be in all of these moving parts, so many pieces, and like there is a way, so much life to be like that we're being invited into. Yeah. And so for me, what I'm so excited about is to make that transition from, whoa, I can really find myself, I can find my joy, I can find my purpose in solitude, but how do I do that together with another person, with other moving parts? Because really it's being with more life, more energy. And so that's what I feel really drawn to. And this is, kind of the perfect stage for this. Even right now, just a quick glimpse into our background, our life, our moving parts is we have someone watching Cedar right now so that we can create in this way, in this space, with this chunk of time that we have. And having that one layer of support is learning for us. and maybe not having all the pieces perfect or right just the way that's needed to have a YouTube channel launched. That's been another moving part of like, yeah, okay, quick, like before this is me running into my office, grabbing this light, okay, let's check this out, okay, no, like, what do we want our background to be? And I share that because this is part of the learning.
Yeah, boundaries. We both were just saying like, whoa, I'm learning so much about boundaries and how many boundaries are needed to focus the energy.
Yeah.
And then how we have to we're learning how to do that together.
Yes.
And in our own personal. And Mike was like, later, let's sit down and let's compare notes. What are we learning about boundaries?
Yeah.
So and I feel like there's so many layers of this in coupleness.
Yeah.
Is learning to have boundaries with each other within the relationship, with like what energies are we wanting to work with and what are we not, what are we saying no to, what are we saying yes to, so that the energy can flow in a creative way instead of like a destructive, chaotic, disorganized way. And it's an ongoing learning. We're like, oh, okay, we got a little off course there. Okay, whoa, that wasn't really very helpful. Oh, what do we need to do? How do we need to direct that energy?
And here we are doing something in the perfectly imperfect way. The thing that's happening is the creation is going out.
Yeah, it's happening.
This
is where it's happening.
And it feels so good to be here with you guys, and so glad that you're tuning in, and quite a vulnerable experience to be exposing this journey of being more out there in that together space so we can learn together. And for me, an intention is really being transparent. And
real
and authentic, not just the highlight reel. That there will be highlight reels because that's just is a part of our life. We love to live, and there's challenges, and we're still figuring things out, and love to figure those things out together. So
and a way it's a perfect segue, a perfect bridge, because we wanted to offer an experience. This is an important piece for us, is that we are sharing about things, but we're also having experiences together, ways that we're actually embodying what we're talking about. Because otherwise we can be taught. I don't know if you are aware of this, but I sure am. And I notice this in people I work with and in these realms, is we can really understand things in our minds. And it's one thing to understand things in our minds, and it's another to embody it, to really feel it in ourselves. And it's not until we really embody something that we can actually act it out. We can actually be that in our daily life. And that really is a huge part of the journey. So we want to invite you into a little relational practice that we like to use when we're needing a touch in, we're needing to connect in, maybe we're feeling a little bit separate or disconnected, or just needing something to like bring us back into the moment together. This is a practice we use. And we invite you to join us. So we're gonna turn towards each other. Eye contact.
Yeah.
And it's great if you can be touching, if possible.
It's my favorite part.
The touch.
The touch. Love the touch.
Yeah, and just inviting yourselves to tune into each other, whether it's with eye contact or touch, or just like noticing your breath. Really letting yourself drop in. Yeah. And then deciding who's going to begin. I'm feeling called to start.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And whoever is going to start, you're going to tune in, and you're just going to start off with what's alive in me in this moment. And so this isn't so much about the story. It's more about, what are you feeling? What are you noticing in your body? What emotions? If there are thoughts you're noticing, just naming it in that way, like this is the thought that I'm aware of. Yeah. So what I'm noticing in this moment is a warmth radiating out from my heart, and almost like I feel refreshed in this connection, in this moment with you. Like, oh, there you are. I like feeling you. I notice when you turn your attention towards me, it feels like a cool shower, but like like refreshing, nourishing. I feel it running down the center of my body and just like washing down. And then the second person is going to tune into themselves and say, hearing you say that, I notice. And then we start to go back and forth. And so this is where we're really presencing together what's alive in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Hearing you say that, I notice my cheeks fill with warmth and energy as I smile and feel how that touches me, that warmth coming from your heart. I notice I feel there's like this really grounded, deep empowerment and empowerment in that we're doing this right now, in this moment, creating in this way. I notice an excitement in my chest. And I notice when I feel your touch and look into your eyes, feeling your undivided presence. It's just like, it's like, notice my whole body, like all my muscles kind of relax and open. It's like a relief, a satisfaction. Yeah.
Hearing you share that, I notice my toes are wiggling. I'm like moving energy in my toes. I notice there's this part of me that kind of goes a little bit like up and out. And then I have to like bring myself back. And I notice there's sort of like a energy churning in my belly. It feels like it's a bit of like, are you still there? Yeah. And then my body's like, oh, he's right here. Yeah. And maybe a little bit of vulnerability of of being witnessed in the dropping down into the different layers of my being. Yeah. It's interesting though, for me, I feel less vulnerable about the depth, and it's more vulnerable to be witnessed in the other parts. Like the more like surface parts. It's just cool to notice. Yeah. Noticing or like hearing you say that, I feel that like in the felt sense of you, where it's like I feel you here more in the deepening. Like that feels true in my body. I notice there's like a tenderness in my heart and a sweetness, but it's like a sweet tenderness of just noticing how much I long for more connection with you, with undivided attention and this level of presence. Yeah. Notice as I say that, I feel like little joy tears come up into my eyes. Whoa, I love this woman a lot. I spend more time with her. Yeah. Hearing you say that, I feel a tenderness in my heart and some relief. I notice there's this layer of guilt about how so much of my attention goes towards being a mom and Cedar. And even though that's the right order and it's healthy and it's beautiful and like I love his energy and I even miss it right now, like, you know, I'm like, wait, where's the baby that's like climbing all over us? I think I noticed this tenderness of like, do you still love me and want to spend time with me even though this is what's happening right now? Like, even though this is what's happening, that so much energy is going towards this baby, like, are you still there? Are you still willing to wait for when there's more time? Are you still there feeling interested and love? And there's like a vulnerability, like a so it felt really nice to hear you feel that. I know, and I also noticed that too, like, oh, I'm so glad this moment's happening. I'm like, oh, we can make these moments. Would this feel like an okay place to end? Or do you want to add something?
No, that feels good.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I felt like touching you here.
It's funny too, because right before that I was wanting to touch your face. But I was wanting to touch your cheek.
That's nice.
Just to name this can be a really beautiful part of the practice, is following those little inner guidances and with consent. Is it okay if I touch you? I'm noticing I feel like I want to touch you.
Thank you. Yeah, and you can sort of move from this place in whatever way feels good for you. And that can be a great way to lead into spending time together, or a date night, or if you, or, you know, another way that can be good is if you're going to have a really, like, a conversation about something that's more edgy, like about money or practical. It can almost be good to do this first so that you're in that energy together. You could always make love. Play. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you guys. Thanks for tuning in to our podcast together, and stay tuned for more.
Yeah, and if you want to share anything about what you noticed doing this practice together, we'd love to see in the comments.
Would love that.
We're really learning from the shares that are coming back from couples about the podcast, and so we welcome it. It's teaching us, guiding us in like where we want to go and what material is helpful, and learning from each other.
Yeah. And also in there, if there's things that you want us to share and talk about too, or you're curious about in our relationship, we're happy to answer those questions also.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of love, guys.